If you plan on building a seven-figure practice, you're going to run into some roadblocks. And I've helped hundreds of chiropractors not only get to seven figures, but actually break through. And I'm going to share with you the 3 most common roadblocks and exactly step-by-step how to crush through them. Welcome back to another great video, guys. And today I'm going to share with you the 3 things that you're going to encounter as you're trying to break through a seven-figure practice. And we're going to dive into why a confused team member is a non-productive team member. And then we're going to shift into how conversion metrics are going to help you scale. You got to focus on the right ones. And then, of course, the limiting beliefs that's probably holding you back. And I'm going to share with you exactly how to break that down and move beyond those false beliefs. All right, let's dive into roadblock number 1, which is a confused team member is a non-productive team member. Now that may sound a little strange, like why would my team members be confused? But in reality, your practice at 100 office visits a week is very different than 150 and very different again at 200 office visits a week. And so as we relate to the book Traction, which is an amazing book that really helps you break down simple business processes in your practice, it talks about how your processes need to be documented and followed by all. And you as the practice owner need to be spending time documenting those processes, making sure that every team member is clear on exactly the steps they need to take to complete a work cycle. And when you have those documented and the entire team is clear that we're all following those processes, we have clarity and the team has excitement and engagement to accomplish their work. And before I jump into your barrier number 2, I really want you to understand this concept of a driven doc, because driven docs, they find their way through these barriers. But I want you to go over them. I want you to get there faster than I got there. I don't want it to take 20 years to break down some of these processes. And so we've created a community of driven docs. I don't want you to be a drifter where you're bouncing back and forth between shiny objects, one system, and then jumping over to this system. You really need a foundation, somewhere where you feel grounded in your processes to build your practice, and that is the driven community. If you want to be a driven doc, just comment below driven, and our team will engage with you and help you find your path to becoming a driven doc. All right, let's jump into roadblock number 2, which are focusing on these conversion metrics. I was working with Dr. Ha when his practice kept hitting this sub 7-figure practice, and he was so frustrated because in his community, he knew a lot of other doctors that were actually having 6-figure months, and he was so desperate to get there because he wanted to scale his team. He wanted to scale his impact in his community and be one of those doctors that's recognized as successful. So as he kept spending a lot of money on new patients, his marketing budget kept going up, thinking, I just need more new patients, more new patients. But once we pulled his data into a dashboard, we were able to clearly see his patient journey. And it became very clear where the weakness was in his process, and it was actually in his start rate. So as we started focusing on conversion metrics, how do we slow down? We fix the process, we test the process, and then we accelerate the process because now it's converting. We went upstream to that conversion metric and we began looking at ways to educate his patients even before coming into the practice. We began looking at ways to increase his lead quality. And by doing that and the team getting very intentional behind that, all of a sudden the patients began to convert. And as they started converting, they then began to ramp back up the process back to normal speed. And we saw incredible growth, 25% growth in 60 days. This is the power of conversion metrics and making sure that you are not getting blocked and running into the wall because you don't understand where the big roadblock is in your practice. Now, if these conversion metrics seem a little overwhelming, don't worry. We've got an incredible community to support you, and it's called the Data Driven Community. It's a free Facebook group where you can come join us for free and learn all about this incredible process of running a data-driven practice. So come find us. We're a free group on Facebook, the Data Driven Practice. It is time to work smarter, not harder. Stop the madness and come join this incredible free community to support your growth. All right, guys, we're ready to jump into roadblock number 3, and this is mindset. Believe it or not, there's this infection in our community where we believe in order to be busier, we have to lower our prices. And again, we were working with another practice that was trying to increase their conversion rate, their start rate, just like Dr. Ha was. And their answer, their solution to increasing their conversion rate was more discounts, bigger discounts, drop the prices. And as they were doing that, they were not seeing an increase in their conversion. They were actually seeing a decrease in their overall collections. So I had to sit down with these doctors and break down the false belief that patients don't value what you are providing them. You actually just have to build the value of the care plan. You have to explain to the patients the outcomes that they're going to get with these care plans. And we actually raised their prices to increase perceived value of the services that they were receiving. In fact, this was a doctor who had spent a tremendous amount of money in postgraduate education and getting specialty degrees. And so, of course, he should be charging more. He's spending more time with the patient. So by raising the prices, we increased that perceived value. Those prices now reflected the time that he was spending with his patients. And we stopped the discounts. We only gave a small discount for a patient committing to the treatment plan and committing to the financial agreements of that treatment plan. And what do you know? Within 30 days, we immediately saw a massive increase in both start rate and increased collections. Now, this doctor wasn't seeing more patients. The doctor was just starting more patients on care plans and collecting more money for those care plans because the patients perceive the value of those. These are some of the false beliefs that infect our community that I am trying to build a community to rid us of those false beliefs, to understand your value of the lives that you change, the miracles that we are seeing with our patients. And you and your team deserve to be rewarded for the hard work that you've put in to build this incredible practice, this vehicle that is changing the lives in your community. Because you can't put a price on health, and it's time that we stop trying to. So come join our community, the Data Driven Practice, where you will be surrounded by other providers with these mindsets that are here to help you build the practice of your dreams.